Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My voice is clear. Just one student confirm me this so that we can proceed our class. Mhm. My voice is coming. I want a little confirmation. Mm,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay. Mm. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are going to start our session. Inshallah, I'm going to wait for about 5 minutes so that we can start our class. After that, we are going to start. So try to be punctual in the timing of live class. I'm going to announce it in group one day before. Okay, so try to be punctual in that also. Okay, so as you already know, today's class is not going to be like directly our lesson class. uh, in today's class, inshallah, we're going to discuss about some things like background of calligraphy. Okay, some things like that. And like it will be an introduction of khatte sulus, basically khatte sulus and calligraphy itself. Okay, and inshallah, lastly, I'm going to give you a little lesson of nukta as well. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna write it here, like introduction, or you can call it history of calligraphy. Okay, or calligraphy, or you can call it khat. Okay, then we're gonna see different types of khat. Okay, khat is basically like you see on internet. There are, the writing, the calligraphy, they are different. Okay, they are not same. So basically, they are what? They are different types of khat. Okay, like proper word for khat. This khat word is in Arabic and Urdu. Proper, you can say, translation word is in English is we call it script. Okay, different types of script, or for the convenience, you can call it different types of like style. Okay, different like designs that you see on different mosque and different places and on internet. So basically they are different types of khat. You can call it, they are different styles. Okay, just for your convenience. Then the other important thing for calligraphy, that is learning methodology. Okay, like for every other discipline. Okay, like all the proper disciplines that exist in today's world, they have proper learning methodology that is established by their masters. Okay, by their, you can say, their senior teachers. Okay, so calligraphy is also like that. It has a proper learning system. Okay, that is built by the master, that how we are going to learn it. Okay, and that is very important, and we need to know what is that and how we are going to do it in our discourse as well. And lastly, about materials. So these are the things I'm going to talk about in today's class. About materials, like what basic materials we need and how we are going to use it. Okay, I'm going to clear some general question as well about color, inks, and paper. Okay, so starting from first, about introduction and history of calligraphy. So it is also very important what we are doing, what we are learning. We should know that what is the background of it. Okay, nowadays, I see there are many students that are, they are just writing. Okay, like they are just writing because someone is writing, or they see someone. They don't know anything about calligraphy. Okay, like they don't know its background, they don't know what's its current situation, what its past, and what's its future. Okay, so it is important that we should know at least what we are doing. Okay, if we know what we are doing, then we are, like, we are more motivated in our work. Okay, so it's very important. So basically, you know if we see in the history, and if we go to the just in the beginning of life, when human beings, when human beings was created, at first, they don't know how to talk. They talk with their sign language. Okay, then when human being, they learn to talk, they learn to write as well. Okay, so writing started at that time. But the calligraphy, the major turnover in calligraphy, the word we call it khattati turnover, was that when the revolution of Quran started. Okay, and at that time, like all the Arabs people, they were very, you can say, they were, you know famous for their memorization. Okay, they have very good memory. And Hazrat Jibril alayhi salam, he came to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he recited Quran in front of himself. And first he memorized it, then he recited in front of other people and sahabas, and they also, all the companion, they also memorized it. But when the you know Islam was spreaded all over the world and different regions, so it was like, it was the need of that time that there should be a physical writing of the Quran as well. Okay, at that time, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he selected. Okay, he does not select for the writing of the Quran any random people or random writer. He selected at that time of the companions that are very good, that have very good handwriting. Okay, that have very good khat. Okay, so when the writing of the Holy Quran started, you can say the revolution in the calligraphy at first stage, it also started. Okay, and at that time there was only one script known to the people, and that was, you can call it khatte hiri, or it is also called as khatte kufik. Okay, all the people, you are able to read this writing as well. Okay, so this was the only script at that time. Now I'm going to ask a little question here, that what was the first script in which Quran was written? You are going to tell me the name of it. Mhm.
خط
You know,
الثلث.
no, no. I said there was, at that time. Okay, I was talking about, not currently. At that time, there was only one script. Okay, so the answer is, very obvious, because at that time there was only one script exist, that was Khatte Hiri or Khatte Kufik. Okay, so Quran was also written in this script, Khatte Kufi. Okay, I'm not talking about nowadays. At that time, Khatte Sulus was unknown. Okay, there was no concept of different script. This was the only script. Okay, I'm talking about, hundreds of years ago. I'm not talking about the present day. Okay, all clear till now? I think many students, you all are a little bit, I can say what, hmm, confused, or a little bit in the online class. So, try to, it's not, don't fear anything. Okay, if you, like, if you don't understand anything, if you want to ask anything, okay, just ask it. Okay, you don't have to be, like, uh, feel to be compressed in this class. It's totally fine. Okay, you can ask anything. And also, this is a in this way you are going to learn calligraphy in a good way. Okay, so I was talking about the Khatte Kufik and Khatte Hiri. So this was the only script exist at that time. So it was obvious. First Quran was also written in this khat. Okay, Quran I can just write Khatte Kufik, you can call it, or Khatte Hiri. Okay, so at that time, Khate Hiri was the Khate Kufi was the only khat. So all the writings of the Quran, it was written in this script. Okay, and if we see now, Khate Kufi is not one variation. Khate Kufi has so many variations, and the reason for that is, first of all, I'm gonna write the variation broadly. If you see the Khate Kufi, it is divided into two categories. Okay, broadly, first one is, you can call it uh, old Kufic, okay, and the other one is new or modern Kufic. In Arabi or Urdu, you can call it Kufi, Qadim, and this one Kufi. Can anyone tell me the word for, you know, if I write Qadim here, then what should I have to write here?
جديد.
Jadid, very good. Okay. Kufi Qadim and Kufi Jadid. Broadly, it is divided into these two categories, and there are many like subdivisions in these categories also. Like in old Kufi, there is a Kufi, we call it Kufi, Kufi, you can call it Kufi Hijazi. Okay, there is a Kufi, we call it Kufi Kehirwani basically. Okay, there is a Kufi Musahfi. Okay, there is a Kufi Mashraki, Kufi Maghribi. There are like many variations, and in like in new model, there is a Kufi known as geometrical Kufic. Okay, there is a square Kufic, Murabba Kufic, and there is a Fatimid Kufic. Okay, so Kufi has many variations, and reason for that is basically when like when any copy of the Quran was sent or like delivered to different region, so they also try to write or publish their writing of the Quran as well. So when they write, their Kufi variant was slightly different. Okay, so when it went to in different areas, so that way Kufi got evolved, and it has nowadays it has so many other variations as well. Okay, so at that time, only one khat was existed. Next, you can say the major turnover was held when in the 18th century, a man named Ibn Makla. Okay, his like real name was Muhammad bin Ali, but he's famous from his like title name. Okay, like lakab, what we called it, Ibn Makla. Okay, he used Khatte Kufik as a base because, like I said, it was the only script. He used Khatte Kufik as a base, and he invented six different scripts. I'm going to name it in the sequence. First one was Naskh or Nasakh, KH, I think. Second one was Sulus, the one we are starting as well. And third one was Muhakkak. Fourth one was Khatte Riqa or Ruqa, Khatte Rihan, Khatte Tawaqi. Okay. Nowadays, these two scripts, they are also modified in some other variations and variants also. So, it was a very major and you can say a shocking like invention of this man. named Ibn Makla. He's very famous because of this invention. Okay, he was like, literally shaped the world of calligraphy. Okay, so he invented these six scripts. Okay, so mostly when I write these six script names, so many students, they thought that these are the only script that exist. Okay, but it's not like that. There are many other scripts as well. Okay, but perhaps these two scripts, these six scripts are the, you can call it, the most famous, okay, or widely used all among the calligraphers and among the world, all over the world. Okay, and even in this sixth one, you can call it just, these two, they have totally, they have like cover all the calligraphy. And even this two, this one is Sulus, is like, is referred to as the king of the scripts. Okay, why we called it, you're going to see it in our upcoming classes. Okay, because Sulus holds so many potential depths and detailing. Okay, because it, like, it covers the real meaning of calligraphy. That's the reason of it. Okay, it has that charm and that thing that we need in calligraphy. Okay, so these are scripts, but there are other as well. But these are, you can call it, the most famous or something like that. Okay, Naskh, Sulus, Muhakkak, Riqa, Dihan, Tawaqi. Okay, there is also, after that, there was one more script came. Maybe some of you heard of it, Diwani. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you a little bit of these different cut and scripts, some of the designs. Okay, some of it you can call it samples. Okay, and I'm going to use this book as a reference for it. Okay. Okay, now if any of you can guess what's this first line, Inna Alina Jamahu wa Qur'ana, all this text, can you guess its script name? This
Um,
first one.
this is maybe نسخ or Diwani.
Okay, so you guessed too, but you are close. Okay, but it is the one that we are going to. It is the Sulus. Okay, it's not in its ideal form, but still it is Sulus. Okay, and now about this one, the word tafsir. Can you guess its script?
This is
It can
Nasakh.
be. Yes, it is Nas. Okay, and can anyone guess about this word? This is written as Bayanul Quran. Can you guess its script?
رقعة.
No, no, it's Nastalik.
Oh, I
Okay,
don't know.
for all those who don't know, Khate Nastalik is basically, uh, you can call it, it's in Pakistan, it is the, like, the national script. Okay, like saying it national script because it is used in our, like, everyday routine, like all of our newspapers, like in news channels, banners, like they are printed in this script. Okay, so you can call it our, like, the daily to the daily script, or you can call it a national script. Okay, because even if you see the writing of this book, the khat, okay, the writing, maybe many of you can't read this, the writing of this, it's in Nastalik. Okay, every country, every every region has its own script that they choose to, for their, handwriting. You can call it, it's the handwriting of the people of Pakistan. Okay, and there is also another version that we call it Farsi Nastalik or Irani Nastalik, that is also exist in Iran as well. But that Nastalik is different. Okay, this Nastalik is different. Okay, original is that. Okay, but it is also, we call it nastali. Okay, so if I asked about this bismillah, can anyone tell about the script of this bismillah, this short?
Is this ruk'ah?
Yes, very good. This is qate, ruqa or riqa. Okay, whatever you can call it. This one. Okay. So, like I said, Nastaliq is the national script or handwriting of the people of Pakistan. Khatte Ruqa or Riqa. It's basically the handwriting of all the Arab countries or Arabic people. Okay. Like all their notifications, all of their writing is going to be written, is going to be right in this khat. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So now if you tell me about, if anyone can guess the script of this ayat, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ.
This is Diwani.
This is Sulus.
Oh,
Okay. If anyone, if anyone feeling like, they don't know about the different script and all the things, because you are new. Okay. Once, you are involved in this field of calligraphy, inshallah, later you are going to, you are going to be capable of recognizing different scripts as well and different khat as well, and how good is the khat as well. Okay, so don't worry about that. I'm just asking randomly, and I'm going to tell about like the most major scripts, the, you can say, the, the sign to recognize them. Okay, so my next line, وَلِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. What's the script of that? Any random guess?
رقعة or the نستعلي the one
Mm-hmm.
that handwriting. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Nastali. Very good. Okay, so yeah, about this one, Wallahu ghalibun ala amrihi.
نسخ.
Yes, very good. And about this one,
This is Diwani for sure.
Diwani. Very good. Okay, so you guessed it right. So basically, the Naskh and Sulus, sometimes they return together as well. Okay, the thing is, in, for example, if I show you, yeah, so this is first, first few verses of the one of the first revolutions, Suratul Alaq. So if anyone can tell about this khat, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and Iqra Bismi Rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq. What's the script of that?
nasakh.
Nas. Yes. Okay. And if now anyone can guess this one, Iqra wa Rabbukal Akram alladhi
This would be
allama
Thuluth.
sulus. Very good. Okay. So, and about this one, allama al insana ma lam ya'lam.
Diwani.
Divani. Very good. Okay. So, yes, you all are, mashallah, very talented people. Okay. So, mhm. So if you carefully see, basically the Nas script has this much, you can say, like, it has this characteristic that it looks good when it is written with small column, and khat sulus, it has this much, you can say, characteristic thing of a khat basically itself. Okay, like the mechanism of the khat, like the building of the khat, it looks good when it is written with large column. Okay, and because it looks good when it is with small column, nowadays khat nas is used to write the Holy Quran. Okay, like mostly all around the Quran that we, that we see in different regions, they have they are written in this script khate nas, because it is written in small khat. Okay, as you know, in early ages, this was the khat, khate hiri, khate kufi. Okay, and if you see, if you see old kufi work, I have also done some work in Kufi Kehrwani as well. If you see that, Kufi is very bold, okay, very bold and very long, curvy, long, straight strokes, okay, and is also without nuktas as well, okay. Later in the stage, nuktas and irab were added in the Quran. So, if you see the old copies of the Quran in the museum, there are some old copies of the Quran in the museum. In the Kufi, if you in the Kufi script, they are very long and heavy. Okay, like it is very difficult to use in the daily routine. Okay, but now if you see the copies of the Nas Quran, they are like even smaller than the A4 size. Okay, very easy to use and carry and to read. Okay, so the Kufi copies of the Quran, they are very heavy and very large. Okay, so because of this reason, for the convenience and for the size, nowadays Khat Nas is used to write the Quran. This is Khat. Anyone can read this. What's the text written in this one?
سورة الفاتحة.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. It is Suratul Fatiha in Khat Nastaliq. Check. Okay, this is basically Kufi, you can call it, but it is also modern Kufi. Okay, like I said, Kufi has many variations. So this is so yeah, maybe you get some idea about the different types or of khat or script. Okay, so we have covered these two. Hopefully, you got some idea about different scripts that Ibn Makla invented. And even if you are not familiar with that, it's totally fine. Like I said, okay, it's totally fine. With time, you are going to recognize that by yourself. Okay, if you are new, it's like obvious that you are not going to pick up all these things at just one jump. Okay, there are some students that are already in that have a background, so they can understand that. So for learning methodology, like I said, learning methodology is very important. Okay, like if you want to learn anything in a good way, it is very important that you follow the seniors or master instructions. Okay, because life is too short if you if you are going to do it in your way. Okay, because there are people that are already spend their whole lives in this thing, in this art, whatever you are doing. Okay, so it is a very smart approach, very good thing, and there are so many secrets in the all the generational fields, all the generational knowledge. Okay, like for example, if we seek the example of medical profession. Okay, at starting, okay, it was not the same like in today's world. There are you have to study so many things, so many degrees in order to get a verified doctor. So but now there is a proper system. So in the same way, calligraphers along the way, along the ages and years, they have developed a proper system. Okay, and the khat is also modified and become better in every generation and every way. So for learning methodology, I'm going to reference about this booklet. Okay, we called it Kurasa, or in simple, you can call it syllabus book. Okay, it's the syllabus book of what? I'm going to read the title: Imshakul Khatat Muhammad Shauqi. It is the practice of calligrapher Muhammad Shauqi. Muhammad Shauqi is the name of the calligrapher. Of which script? Fi Sulusi wa Nas. Khat Sulus and Nas. Okay. So if you open its first page, first of all, it's the prayer. Okay, it's the dua that we recite before doing any of our work or homework, and you can also recite before any task. It was dua Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir Rabbi tammim bil khair wa bihil aun. And then there is a like letter start. Okay. So basically the learning methodology of calligraphy, learning methodology of calligraphy is very much similar to learning methodology of Quran. Okay. Like if you remember, uh, you know, in the childhood when our parents call the Quran teacher. Okay. So call to Quran teacher to to read their child Quran. So Quran teacher or Qari Saab, he does not, when he told that you have to study these kids, you have to read these good kids Quran, he does not present Surah Fatiha, or he does not force the students or children, kids, to read the Suratul Baqarah directly. Okay. At first he used to teach the the very basic, and that was, we called it Nurani Qaida. Okay. And in that it was not the whole surahs and the long text were written, and in that there was alphabets was written and displayed in its first page. Even in that small booklet, small Nurani Qaida, we have in the first page we have the alphabets. Okay. because because Qari Sahib knows it's the basic, it's the foundation. Okay. If they mastered these pronounce the pronunciation of these words, the understanding of these words, they are going to learn the Quran as well. And the stronger their base, their foundation is, the stronger is going to their recitation in the Quran as well. Okay. Like Qari Sahib spend, Quran teacher is literally spend weeks in pronunciation of some letters. Okay. Like in the middle of throat, ha. Okay. So that was the hard working, because it was the basics. In the same way, in calligraphy, we are going to practice this. Okay. For example, in the memorization of any surah, for example, if I give you a task of memorizing Surah Zuha, what you are going to do? You are going to recite it, continuously, so that it would sit in your mind. Wazuha, wazuha, wallayli saja, wallayli da saja. Okay. So in the same way, just in the recitation process, in the memorization process of the Quran, we read it again and again. In calligraphy, we write it with qalam again and again. We practice it again and again until it like really, it fits in our hand. Okay. And in the same way, for example, if one surah you don't recite it for a month, it started to forget you, even if it's a common surah. Okay. You can also, maybe you realize this in your salah as well. Okay. So, and some of the Hafs Quran, they, when they they don't touch the Quran for a year and 2 years, so they said slowly they starting to forget. In the same way, when you leave the practice, it's like you are also going away from the calligraphy. So like practice or mush and calligraphy, they are together like this. Okay. They have very strong communication. Practice is basically the calligraphy. Okay. Practice is going to make you a calligrapher, in simple words. It is very important. Okay. So this thing, we call it mufradat. Okay, I'm going to write it in Arabic font. Okay. Mufradat, or in English you can call it individual letters. Okay. So this mufradat, the individual letters, they are very important, like very, 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 very much important. Okay. Because it's the base, it's the foundation of the building that we are making. Okay. And the more we are going to put effort in the base, the more stronger it is going to survive in the long term run. Remember that. Okay. And many beginner students, they make mistakes in this one. They want to write directly the joining the ayats. Okay, they just directly want to go here, they want to skip this part. Okay, it's boring or not, but you have to do it. Okay, it's the only way. You can't just skip the base. You can't just, for example, if you are making a building, okay, you can't just directly make the 11th floor first. Okay, you are going to do the, you're going to tell the construction worker that, I want to make the 10th floor first, then 9, then 10. No, he's gonna tell you straight that it's not possible. Okay, science didn't evolve this much, it's not possible. So base is very important, you have to do this. Okay, so the more we are going to spend, we are going to learn every letter in its correct form. Okay, we are going to study every part of the letter. Okay, in this way we are going to make our base, our foundation. And then after that, when we're gonna move on to this phase, the joining. Okay, the mufrada, then murakkaba, then ibarat, then after learning the strong base of mufrada, when we move to the this part, you are going automatically going to understand so many things, these joints and other things. Okay, so it's very important. And if you carefully see all these, lines, the circles, these circle basically they are representing nuktas, they are measurements. Okay, we call it mizan, it's mizan of letter, it's the basically measurement, or you can say uh, the like, the rule of the letter. Okay, that it is 8 circle, it is 8 nuktas. Okay, it's like that. And if you carefully see, there is a, this one is sulus. Okay, this one is sulus. And if you carefully see inside, there is khate nas kurasa as well. Okay, written with small column, just like I told you, khate nas suits with small column, sulus, it suits with large column. It's the same. Okay, this was about learning methodology, it is very important. So about our script, that is sulus, it is also, you can call it, uh, if I forget about materials, one of you, remind me about materials at the end. I'm going to discuss it, but first, now coming to our script of the course, that is khate sulus. So khate sulus is also, you can say, it has two variations, two kinds. Okay, one is sulus khafi. Okay, it is also called as sulusul adi. Okay, I'm going to write this in English as well. Sul adi. And the other one is, we call is jelly sulus or sulus jelly. Okay, okay. If any of you knows the name of jelly, basically refer to large. Okay, like boldness. Okay, so this is, you can call it two variations, sulus khafi, or it is also sulusul adi, and the other one is jelly sulus. Okay, and sometimes if there is only like the word written is sulus. Okay, only there is no type specifying like khafi or jelly. So even in this one, we are also referring to this one. Okay, if written is only sulus, we are also referring to this one. If it's jelly, you have to write it before it. You're going to notice, in every calligrapher's post and in the competition, if the if it is about jelly, it is going to be written before the sulus, jelly sulus, like this, jelly sulus. Okay, and what's the difference? Now I'm going to tell you this. Like in the beginning, I told you jelly refers to the boldness. Okay, first you can say the first difference is about the size. Okay, Kafi Sulusul Adi, it has maximum column size limit is of 3 mm, is its maximum size. Okay, like you can use it small like 2.5, 2 or 1. Usually for Sulus we don't use 1 because it has so many details, it is very difficult to write. So its maximum size is 3 mm of Sulusul Khafi Sulusul Adi. If you go larger than 3, then what's the category name? For example, tell me, if the text is written with 5 mm column, what we are going to refer to it?
Sulus jelly.
Chulus jelly. Very good. Larger than 3, it can be 5, it can be 7, it can be 9, it can be 10, it can be 20. Okay, so on. But larger than 3. Okay. One more thing, that's the one difference. Okay, jelly khafi refers to the small, maximum size is 3 mm. Jelly refers to larger than 3. So this one, all this writing, it's basically, now tell me whether it's sulus khafi or jelly. This text. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك وجل ثناؤك ولا إله غيرك. Tell me.
This is jelly.
This
No,
is
no.
4 mm maybe?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's 3 mm. Okay, it's small.
Oh, if it's three,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to tell you the second, sign of sulus khafi. That is, in sulus khafi, the letters don't cross, they don't overlap. Okay, and there is no composition formation in sulus khafi. Okay, all the text, it is written in this format. Okay, like this. Every end of the letter is somehow connected to the starting of next letter, like this. End of the letter starting, end of the starting, like this.
This is
And you don't
العادي.
see no letter is crossing the other letter. Okay, that is also sign of what? Sulus khafi. You can call it sulus khafi or sulusul adi or simply sulus. Clear? Any confusion? So now
So
tell
can
me.
you repeat
Okay,
so the letters are not
yeah, they are not
over
crossing.
crossing. Okay.
Don't worry, I'm going to show you, when I'm going to show you the example of jelly sulus, it all be cleared. Okay, and if they are still
Sorry.
confusion, you can ask later. Okay, don't worry about that. Again, you can see here. Okay, it is also sulus khafi because letter is not crossing and there is no composition formation and the size is also 3 mm. Okay, every ending of letter is connected to the next letter. Just like I told in the start, if something is, just a little bit, you can say, going out of it, don't worry about it, inshallah. Just like, gradually you are going to learn calligraphy, in the same way gradually you are going to learn different things as well about different khats and all these things. Okay, now I'm going to show you the example of jelly sulu. Where was that book? Mm, no, forget it. There is a very perfect example, the artwork of my own master. I'm going to show you that in front of me. Okay, so if you, now you're going to tell me. Okay, now check this artwork, the text written. Okay, so first of all, if we see, mm, First of all, this one, the first text, Ya ayyuhannas. Okay, the red one. Now tell me whether it's sulus khafi or sulus jali.
Jelly because it's crossing, overlapping.
Yes, very
Okay.
good. Okay, because the letters are crossing. You can see the alif, the scene is crossing. It's the composition. We call it a composition, and it is jelly sulus. You can even check the size of it. It is large. It is not. You can just get the idea larger than three. So the lower text, if you carefully see, inna khalaqnakum min zakarin wa unsa وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. So now tell me, what's this? This black one only.
عادي.
Adi. Not Adi, Sulusul Adi. Okay, because the word is before that, you have to pronounce that as well. And the other name was that? Come on.
ثلث عادي.
Sulusul
This one.
Adi. Yeah, there was alternative name as well. What was that? Sulus
Uh,
Khafi. Okay,
mhm.
Khafi. You can call it Sulus Khafi, Sulusul Adi, or simply Sulus. Okay. Why? Now tell me the reason why it is Sulusul Adi.
It's not
Yeah, yeah,
overlapping.
come
It's
on.
not over crossing. The letters not overlapping, right?
It's very simple.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Don't be afraid. I told you, don't be afraid to answer and to ask anything. It's totally fine. Okay. And like what's the maximum risk in this process? Like, you are going to say anything wrong. That's it. Okay. There's nothing more you can do it. And there's nothing more I can do it in this online class as well. Okay. So don't be afraid. It's Sulusul Adi. It's Sulusul Khafi because there is no crossing. You can just check it. Okay, there is no crossing and there are other things as well. You can see the sequence. Okay, the ending of every letter connected to the next. Okay, and you can check the size as well. Okay, and now in this round composition, it is written inna akramakum indallahi atqakum innallaha alimun khabir. So now what is this? What type of this sulus?
الثلث الجلي.
Sulus jali. It's simply Sulus Jali, and the other one was Sulusul Adi. Okay, it's Sulus Jali because it's obvious. You can check the size and you can check the crossing. Okay, like check the crossing. There is so much crossing, overlapping. So it is a proper composition, a balanced composition. Okay, so this was the difference in these type of the variations, or you can say these two sulus. Okay. This one you can read it Sulus Suladi and this is Jelly Sulus. Okay. So now okay, so a minute, I'm going to restore it. Hmm. So this was the two types of solos. Hope so everyone got clear and still there's anything, any doubt you can ask me. Okay. So generally the method of the teachers, okay, and all the calligraphers around the world, they start from Sulus Khafi. Okay, like they start with the small column. Okay, and then after the whole learning they move it to the student to the large sulus jali. And the problem in this method, in this way of learning is that you know Like generally it is seen students when they learn from small column and when they directly move to the, after that large column, they got puzzled. Okay, like they, they like lose their confidence. Okay, so we are like I already told you, the calligraphy, it can't be learned in a short period of time. Okay, it is a long term journey, and in this, short period of online course, we are going to use, you can say our method is going to be a slightly different. Okay, but it is going to be very effective. Okay, just you have to follow the guidelines and you have to do the practice. Okay, so we are not going to start with the small. We are somewhere, we are keeping our learning in between of both of that. Okay, and also one more thing noted in that, there is also slight differences of the very slight differences of the letter shape in Sulus Jali and Sulus Khafi as well. Okay, and these things you are going to realize, you are going to learn in later classes as well. Okay, for now you can just, these signs, these are more than enough for you to identify the Sulus Khafi and Sulus Jali. Okay, so we are going to take, somewhere in between, like mix kind. Okay, we are going to take our learning of Sulus mix between Khafi and Jali. Okay, and we are going to start with large column. Okay, because if you understand all the shape, all the structure, all the curves of the letter, okay, all the anatomy of the letter completely, then it doesn't matter whether you write with small or large. The main and important thing is that you have to understand the letter, and you are going to understand the letter better with the large column. Okay, so I'm putting a limit here. Try to everyone use larger than 5 column. Okay, and you can measure the size of column like by the scale. Just a minute. For example, this is scale. Okay, these are millimeters and these are inches. So you can check just by that. This is basically, we called it cut of column. Okay, this is what the thickness of column. We called it cut. I'm going to talk about this later in this class. Don't worry. So it is. You can check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is approximately 7 mm. Okay, so you can use this column as well. Okay, but don't use small column like this. For example, this is 2.5 or 3 column. Don't use small column. Okay, you can use maximum. Okay, this is the like your like maximum smallest size is 5. Okay, and it is better if you use, you can use larger than 5, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you can use that, but don't use smaller than 5. Okay, it's better for your learning, for your understanding, and you are going to see this in our upcoming classes as well. Okay, so in calligraphy we use nukta. Okay, just like in other things. For example, if we have to measure weight, we have a unit, we call it kilogram. Okay, and if we have to measure some liquid, we measure it in liters. Okay, in the same way, in calligraphy, okay, in calligraphy we have nukta. The column last cut is slightly, I think, disturbed. So in calligraphy we have nukta, or in English you can call it dot. Okay, it is basically, you can call it unit of measurement in calligraphy. Okay, we are going to use nukta for our measurements, for our mizan of letters. Okay. And the important thing to keep in mind here is this is the nukta of sulus. It is also very important here and worth mentioning here that you are going to use nukta of that script that you are learning. Okay, because every not every script has same nukta. And khate sulus nukta, it looks scare but it is not. This nukta that we call it, okay, it is scare. You know, I hope you all know about the scare. Okay, like it, all of its sides should be equal. So this is nukta of khate naskh or khate nastalik. Okay, and in the same way in khate diwani or khate ruqa, the nukta is even half of the scare like this. And in Delhi Surus and some of the Kufik, sometimes the round nukta is also used. Okay. So it is very important you have to use nukta of that script. Khate sulus nukta basically it looks square but it is not. It's this size is I'm writing it L. This size is larger and this size is smaller. It is kind of a rectangular. Like if I add a slightly more portion in this square, we can made in khate sulus nukta. Okay. So this is nukta of khate sulus. This is your first lesson. Okay, nukta. Nukta is very important in calligraphy and also it is referred to as beginning of every letter of every stroke. Like for example, if I have to write, alif, their stroke in this nukta, there's a ba, it has angle like this. Okay, at every letter. It is basically referring the, like the origin of life. So in calligraphy, nukta is basically representing the origin. Okay, so it is the first. It is very important to practice nukta. Okay, because if you write nukta in the wrong way, the unit of measurement in the wrong way, then your letters are also going in the wrong way. So first of all, you need to understand nukta, and you need to understand about its all the things. Okay, so basically the thing is, as I already told you, it is not a scare. So if I draw a straight line like this and a straight line like this, what's it's indicating? You can see the corners, they are not passing in the same line. Okay, its corners are not passing in the same line. This thing is indicating that it is not square. Okay, this shouldn't be present in your nukta like this. For example, your nukta shouldn't be like this. Like, then now it is a scare, or it is in a wrong way. Now what is happening in this here? This corner it is passing here and this corner is passing here. But in Solus Nukta, it won't happen. The reason it's not scare. Okay. So if there is this thing present in a Nukta, then it's not in a correct way. Okay. You can practice one Nukta and you can practice two as well. Like you can combine two. Now I'm going to combine it with the end of it like this. Okay. And even in this one, if you carefully see, there is a thing like It is slightly what? Upward. Why? Because it is not square. Okay. And even if you check line from here, it is also downward from this end and this end. Okay. So you can practice two nuktas combined. You can practice with the equal distance. Okay. It is also very important here. Now check. I am this distance and now this. Now check. My nukta has equal distance from here and here. You're checking my speed. This should be your speed in your practice. Remember that. Okay. You have to do it with full relaxation. Okay. There is no need to hurry in the practice or in calligraphy. It is also very important here. You can practice three nuktas. Okay. And one more thing. Now tell me what you are noticing in this four nuktas. Like what you are seeing. Can anyone tell me? Mm-hmm. Tell me.
You
In
mean
the
the white
center of
dot?
the space form the white نقطة.
Uh, I didn't understand. Can you repeat it?
Sorry, Yasmin. I think we are saying the same thing, that in the center there is a white نقطة with the same size.
Yes, yes, very good. Okay, like if your all four nuktas are in the correct way, then there is a properly Khatesulus nukta is also going to be present in this in between. Okay, but for that it should all of your nukta should be in a proper shape. Okay, it's not like that if you write one here like that and the other is big, okay, and this one is small. Okay, so now it's not making proper nukta. Check now. Okay, the space is disturbed, so all of your nukta, if they fall in the right place, then there is, you can check this white space, like this is small, this is small, and this is larger. Proper Khattasulus nukta is present in between here. Okay, and now you can check one more thing here. Check how this is going inside. Okay, in the same way, check how it is going upward. This one. Okay, because they are not crossing it's middle lines. Okay, in the same way as well. Okay, they are indicating that this is not square. Okay, the lines don't pass like this. It is also very important here. Okay, now for example, in measurement we have to draw nuktas vertically and horizontally. Now, for example, if I have to write some nuktas vertically, if I am going to join it end to end, can anyone tell me what is happening here? What's the like problem? Hmm. Like what's going on when I join nukta end to end?
The line
Tell
is not
me.
horizontal.
Don't take that much time.
The line is not properly
Whatever
vertical.
thought, whatever comes in your mind, you can just say it. Okay. Like I told you, it's totally fine. You don't need to worry about anything. Okay. Like I am the one, I can say anything to you. You don't have to worry about anything else. So the thing in this one is it is going in tilt direction. Okay. You can check it by yourself. Okay. It is going in this way. What we can do, for example, we have to write nuktas in the straight line. What can we do? So the method for that is the method for writing straight nuktas is that first of all I'm going to write one nukta. You can mark a line here like this. Okay, and now you are not going to start from the edge but a little behind. Basically, you have to match this line in order to writing in straight. You can also for practice you can do that. You can, you know, made a line from the ruler. Okay, like for example, if I made a line here. Now if you write all nuktas from starting here, they are going to lie in the same line. Okay, that's the thing. You can do this thing manually as well. Okay, just make this line and don't go from its edge, just slightly behind to in this way the nuktas are going in the vertical direction.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was wondering, once we cut our bamboo so that we can
Mm-hmm.
start doing calligraphy, it's at which angle that you are drawing the nukta?
Okay. Angle of the nukta, you are talking about
Yeah,
that, like this
yes.
column placement. Okay, so I'm gonna come to that. So basically the thing in the calligraphy is you don't have to, you know, worry about the angles and all these things. Okay, it's like your nukta should be in the right space. Okay, like, you know, I don't care like what angle you start, you know, because it's not approximately, like, you know, for example, if I told you, like, you know, it is, you know, it is 65. Okay, and for example, if someone is like made 66 or 65 point something or 64, like it's wrong. No, it's not. Okay, it's approximate. The main thing that matter, your nukta should be in the right place. And how you are going to know it? Your nukta is going to tell you by yourself. Okay, it's going to tell you. Like for example, if I, you know, if someone made nukta like this, you know, you can see it's not correct. Okay, its nukta is weak. Okay, so you have to know this. But if you want to, you know, if you want to take a guess, it's basically somehow, for example,
It seems 45 degrees.
mm, okay, now if I ask you what's the angle, what's this?
90.
90, yes. Okay. So if I cut its middle, what this?
Yeah.
45. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
as it's slightly larger than 45, so it is
Okay.
approximately 55. Okay.
Okay.
If you can take, if this information is helpful for you, then you can. But like I said, write nukta again and again, and the one nukta that is in a good shape, it is going to tell you by yourself. And you have to, actually, you don't need any external tools for measurement. This qalam, the right in your hand, the thing, this itself is all the geometry, all the tools, all the thing you need. Okay. Like, have you see, like, I, before writing nukta, I did this, this is, I did the, the protector, I wrote all the angles, or I did all the geometrical work. Okay, it's not like that. I just wrote nukta like this, and it is saying right to me that it is in the correct way. Okay, so nukta should be in the good shape. That's the most important thing. Okay, and there are also, other ways as well. But if this information helpful you, then you can. Okay, but I'm saying the most important thing, your nukta should be good. It doesn't matter that if you do this way or if you just directly. Okay, there are some people that even don't even know about angles, what they all are, but their nuktas are very strong. Okay, so like it's their practice. There are other ways. I told you this is nukta, and this is what we call it. Anyone remember this column thickness? But I call it. It's called cut. Okay, this column thickness. Okay, are you getting it? This column thickness. This one, this right here. We called it cut, and this is nukta. They are not same in measurement. Okay, cut is small, nukta is large. So also, remember this in our upcoming lessons. At some points, I'm going to use cut as a measurement, and at some point, I'm going to use nukta as measurement as well. We use both of these things. So now, what I am doing, what I have done, hmm
For قطع.
yeah, it's for cut. It's the basically square of for cut, murabba of for cut. So I am drawing a line in the center of it's this part, and one line just right, above in its this part. Okay, so one line here. Mm, okay, now if I place my column upper portion, we called it Vahshi, and this corner we called it Unsi. Like this is this placement, and there is this. This is basically the angle of the nukta that you are asking. Okay, if this way, if someone this way helpful for you, you can use that. Okay, it's up to you, all up to you. There are multiple ways, there are so many ways to understand just one thing. Okay, the main thing that matters, your nukta should be good, whatever method that you are using. Okay, if this is helpful for you, then okay, go on. This is, but some people, actually this all these things, although it is very basic. Okay, the way I draw this, it is very basic. First of all, 90, middle 45, and it is 55. Okay, it is very basic, but still, it's some people, for some people, I have seen this many students, they just hate maths. Okay, and even though this is, I told them this, it's very basic. Okay, it's very basic. I think we learn this in first or second grade, but still, they are so much confused. They just hate maths, and they like, they thought that we need so many geometrical knowledge, and the calculus, the algebra for this calculus. It's not like that, just very basics. Okay, and you can use this as well. It is the nukta of angle simply. Okay, got it?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So now this was the our way of writing nukta in a straight line. I was on that. Don't meet its point, just behind. This is the way of writing straight nuktas. Okay. And if you have to write nuktas horizontally, in the same way, for example, if we do it this way, we are going to meet end to end. It is going to be a little upward like this. Okay, it is going upward. So, in the same way, if we have to write horizontally, this is the line that we have to match. Okay, not point, just a little. The line isn't straight. It should come here a little, not point, a little behind on this point, like this is the way of writing nuktas in a straight line horizontally. Okay, so this is the way of writing nuktas horizontally. And one more thing, this is basically nukta of not sulus, it's nukta of jelly sulus. It is also very important here. Okay, nukta is basically, if you see the nukta of it's a little bit wet. Sulus khafi, sulus khafi nukta is not, you can say, a properly, shaped. It is kind of a, more downwarded from here, like this. Okay, it is more like this. It is coming downward too early, but in jelly sulus we have nukta in this direction. Okay, straightness. So sulus khafi nukta, it seems like it is at rest. Okay, this is sulus khafi nukta. Sulus khafi nukta, it seems like it is at rest, while in jelly sulus nukta, it seems like it is in motion. Okay, it has some, it has some alive. It has some, you can say, it has motion. But in sulus khafi nukta is, and also in sulus khafi nukta is also, not properly shaped. The edges are not that much clear. Okay, but in sulus jelly, everything is clear. Just like you can have the idea of this, although this is a musk, but you can still check it. Okay, nukta is slightly going downward. Okay, you can check this, but in jelly sulus it was like that. Okay, in the same way you can check in this one, like check the nukta. Okay, the properness, everything. This is basically the difference in nukta of these two as well, to practice this nukta, the one that we learn. Okay, so now about practice, what you have to share and what you have to send it to me. So now, practice nukta as much as you can. Okay, don't take nukta, first of all, don't take nukta lightly. Okay, it's the, like I said, it's the beginning. It's okay. Okay, it's the beginning. Khat sulus, basically, khat sulus letters inspiration is, every script has an inspiration. Okay, like khat nastalik. If you see the gene of nastalik, it is, sharing the shape of a kind of a duck. Okay, and in case of ayn, it is sharing the, shape of a kind of a, it is the face of the lion. Okay, so Khadanastalik, some scripts have inspiration from animals, while Sulus, it has inspiration from humans. Okay, human forms. Okay, once in next class, when we're gonna get the lesson of Alif, we're going to see Alif, seems like the person is standing. Okay, so Khate Sulus has so much, connection with humans. So it is a very, uh, you can say a different script. So that's why, nukta is also referred to as origin of life. Okay, so don't take nukta lightly. Practice nukta as much as you can, understand it. Okay, and this is your first lesson. Okay, and try, practice nukta as much as you can. One nukta, two nuktas, three nuktas, four nuktas. But what you have to send to me was like that. You are going to, for after your, practice, after your practice session, like before our final, before our live class. Okay, for example, our next live class is on Sunday. Okay, so you are going to in Monday, or in Monday, in Friday, Saturday, you are going to practice nukta. Okay. After your practice session, you are going to do the final attempt of your practice. It's like the conclusion of your practice. Okay. And that thing you are going to do it on a separate page. It is also very important. Okay. You can use, if the backside is neat, you can use that. But next page is good. Okay. You have to use the separate page. And on top of that, you are going to write, for example, mashqahu. Okay, and then you are going to add your name. Okay, I am going to add my name, for example, mashqahu Hassaan Abdullah. Okay. Then you are going to write the date. Okay, like for example, today is 6th of November. 6. If someone wants to write in a different format, they can. Okay, it's up to you, but it is very important, on every practice, and it should be written on your practice page. Okay, it shouldn't be like that. First of all, you click the picture, okay, and then you edit with the WhatsApp or any editing app. It's not like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be written on top, any corner, okay, of your page. And first of all, mashkahu and your name, then the date on your every practice. And on that page, you are going to write 8 nuktas vertically, okay, and 6 nuktas horizontally. Okay, like in this page, for example, this is a practice page. It it has 8 nuktas vertically and 6 nuktas horizontally. Only this. Okay, there shouldn't be any, any understanding or reference line here. You can, like I told you, on your practice, this is my practice page. On my practice page, you can draw this line. You can, write nuktas in this sequence, so that it would be in the straight line. You can practice mode, but on your final page, there shouldn't be any practice. There is only one lesson. Okay, only nuktas here, only nukta should be here. Because because at last you have to do it. You have so much good hand in practice that you can write it freely as well. Okay, so in practice you can do anything, but on final practice there should be only your lesson. Okay, 8 nuktas vertically and 6 nuktas horizontally. You are going to send me the pic of that, and you are going to send me the picture of your practice. And also keep in mind, it is also very important, picture of your practice should be straight. It is very important. Okay, as in online classes, thing like calligraphy, it is very much difficult to teach. Okay, so if you are sending picture in the wrong angle, okay, so it is, it is very difficult to check the letter. Okay, if I am not seeing in this the correct way, correct angle, so okay, don't do any stylish or fancy photography. Just take your page on the desk on anything plain, and then take the picture upright and then send it in the WhatsApp group. Just before, one day before the class, our WhatsApp group is going to public, and then you all are going to send your practice in your group. Okay, then inshallah we're going to check in the next live class. That is most probably going to happen on Sunday, 10 p.m. Pakistan time. Okay, if there is any update or changes in the plan or anything, I'm going to announce that before in group. Okay, don't worry, and follow every update in the group.
Could
I
you
have a
please
question.
Okay,
Sorry.
so that's it. If there's any question, oh yeah, one more thing about materials. Okay, so basically, about, for starting, we just need basic materials. Okay, it is also keep in mind, you don't need any fancy or stylish material, any expensive. We just need basic materials. That is, columns, basic bamboo columns. Okay, they are easily available, I've already told you. Then second is ink, and third is about paper. So, inshallah, I'm going to share a link of Google Classroom or a playlist of YouTube. In that playlist, you are going to find three videos about materials. Okay, first video was going to be about how to make kalam, just writing kalam. Okay, how to make your bamboo kalam. And in that video, I have told from the scratch. Okay, like this is kalam, it is already in shape. Okay, and I have like made column from this part, and we have turned this shape from here. Okay, so it's going to be answer all of your queries. If anyone wants to, for example, if someone is saying like I have told you to use the 6 mm, like larger than 5 mm, yeah, maximum or maximum 5 mm column size. If someone is saying I don't have 5 mm column, I have 3 mm column, what should I do? You can carve your column. Okay, you can change the cut or size of your column. It is also a skill. Okay, it is also a skill that you're going to learn in your journey, how to carve your kalam. Okay, it is very important. So try yourself. You can watch the tutorial. It is covers all the things. Okay, and if there's still any confusion, anything, you can ask me later, or you can just tell, we can discuss in our upcoming classes as well. Okay, that thing, one more thing, at the recording of the video I have only the this large cutter. Okay, but if you uh, for column making, large cutter is not recommended. Okay, this cutter, this is good. Okay, use the small blade cutter. Okay, because its handling is not very good. Okay, and cutter is also very sharp. And for example, if you have to cut it from here, I can't cut it from here, because the thing is, if I applied pressure, whole thing is going to be cut. But in this small cutter, I can put the pressure. It is more helpful, it is more suitable and good. Okay, but at that time in my video I use this large cutter. But if you have small color cut cutter, that is the best. Okay, that is more suitable, more easy to use. Okay, and be careful and don't rush the process. Okay, because cutter, in the color making process, cutter is very sharp, and take care of your hands. Okay, it is very important. Don't rush the process, just do everything slowly. Okay, all the things that include calligraphy, you just don't have to rush the process. You just have to uh, keep the patience. That is very important. Okay, and there is the other video was about how to prepare ink. Okay, it's a short tutorial. Just actually, we don't directly use the drawing ink. Like, I don't directly dip on the ink, I dip on this prepared ink. Okay, and how we prepare it, it's very simple. We use, first of all, an any type of empty container. Okay, I have discussed all the necessary things, I'm telling it here as well. You can, first of all, you can add thread or any absorptive substance, then you add some ink and few drops of water, then you just mix it. It's just this simple. Okay. And third video is about papers. Okay. So what paper we use for calligraphy? The paper that I'm currently writing on, it's art paper, or we call it glossy paper. Okay. You can just check it, its surface, how much it is smooth or it has gloss surface. Okay. So basically this paper, it provides good flow of column and ink. You can just check it. Okay. And if I compare this is a computer, you can just check it, it has no, shiny surface. And if you check this, it is, you can just check the paper difference. Okay. And if I write on this same paper, check how much, how, rapidly it absorbs the ink. So that's the difference. Okay. So that's why art paper is recommended, suitable for you. But if someone can't find art paper, then you can use this paper as well. Okay, you can write on this as well. It's not right, it's not that you can't write it as well. You just have to, mhm. Okay, you can like check. Okay, it's a very good nokta. So you can write on this paper as well. If you don't have anything, still start. Don't wait for anything. You know, inshallah, later by later, you are going to get good things, good material as well. Just start it. These are just basic supplies. Okay, there's a tutorial. Everything is present there. Inshallah, you're going to find that. And yeah, we have discussed everything about today's class. If there's still any question, anything that you didn't understand, you can ask it. Could you share what type of paper are you using? What kind of paper is it? I have told that it's art paper. Okay. And also one more thing, when I am taking classes, I don't read the text messages. Okay, because my concentration is on the class. So if you have to ask anything, you can simply just open your mic and you can just ask the question. Okay, any more question, anything, any doubt?
Um,
I have a question.
Okay.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Roshan.
oh no, it's fine. You can ask first.
Okay. I was wondering about the horizontal nukta that you were drawing.
Mhm.
I'm I didn't really understand how to draw
Okay.
it properly.
Hmm. Okay, I was saying, for example, this was the first nukta. In this horizontal nukta, the thing is that I was matching the corners.
Mhm.
Okay, like you can just check it, every corner, this to this is attached to its corner. So if you write horizontal nukta by sticking to its corner, it's going upward, because reason, it's not square. Okay, it's basically the understanding of nukta. Okay, don't worry, with time you're going to get everything. But if you slightly lower, it's like, carefully see, this is this its end, there is this end. So lower this angle,
Yeah, okay.
they are
Now
lying
I
in
see.
the, yeah, they are lying in this sequence. Same. It's just the same way that we are going to do it in a vertical way. Okay. There is no complex thing. Don't worry about that.
Can we use the ruler to make a straight line and then we start from there?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You can, okay, but on your practice paper, neat, on your final practice, the conclusion that you are going to send it to me. Uh, if you don't use any ruler or pencil, if you just write nukta manually, that is more good. Okay, don't use ruler. You can write like that. Okay, because it should also you should be capable of writing nuktas freely in the straight line as well. Okay, you should be able to write as well. Okay, like on your final paper, You can write like this without any line and reference line and ruler and pencil. But
Just
on
for
your
the book.
practice, for your understanding, you can use anything, whatever help you, whatever suits you. Okay.
Mm.
Check. Okay. You can check these nukta. They are, if there is slight difference, then it's fine. Okay. Slight difference, we can avoid that, but there shouldn't be that much. You can see, all the nuktas, they are in its proper shape. That's the thing that matters the most. Okay. Any question? Mm, I guess all of you, I hope you all got today's lecture. Okay.
I
So
had one
practice.
quick question.
Yeah.
I'm left-handed, so
Hmm.
do I need to do anything differently when I'm writing?
Mm, actually, keep in mind, uh, you know, there are multiple ways of writing. There are some lefties, that change that use different cut. Okay, like this cut, they use column cut this way. Okay, but you can write like this as well. Okay, you don't need to do anything, and inshallah you're going to see with practice. Okay, everything is going to be suitable for you. Okay, and also I'm going to tell you there are many great calligraphers. Okay, there are many great calligraphy masters that are also left-handed. Okay, so it's not like that. Some people think that it is a difficult for left hand. It's not like that. It's a different but not difficult. There is a present calligrapher. His name is Ustad Farhad Kurlu, and he's a lefty. Okay, and he, if you see his video, he writes so easily and smoothly. And there is one more even benefit of with left-handed. For example, if I, if you remember this, after writing this, I wrote the other nuktas here. I can't write it here because if I write it here, my hand was here, and see how the ink got, you know ink was wet, so it got this spoil. Okay, but for the lefty, the benefit is that they don't have to wait it to dry. They can, after writing this, they can simply write here. Okay, how, but I don't know because I'm not a lefty, so they don't have to wait. That's the advantage. Okay, so you can use that. And there was one calligrapher. uh, What we can anyone tell me what we call lefties in Arabic? What's the word? It's the
Bishlawi.
أعسر.
what's the other word? Ahsan, and the other. What's the other word that the student told me? Tell me again. It was.
Sorry,
Just
Bishlawi.
okay. Just 1 minute. I'm going to check it on the. That calligrapher, he wrote that left in Arabic. Yeah, Al Yasar. Al Yasari. Okay. So this is also a, its meaning is also a leftist. So the calligrapher, after he wrote this in his signature. Okay, his name was, I think I'm remembering his name. His name was Nazif. Okay, he write Nazif Al Yasari, and he was so master calligrapher, a great calligrapher. Okay, of is a very good calligrapher of Nastaliq. Okay, and he wrote with his name Al Yasari. Okay, so it was like his identity. He was very proud of that. Okay, so there is nothing different or nothing. It's just exactly same. Okay, and it just you are going to learn so many things by yourself, okay, like how you have to deal this, how you have to write this, okay, and with time inshallah you are going to get used to it. Okay, any more question? Okay, so this is your first lesson, okay, practice nukta, and inshallah practice this as well, and before our next class you are going to share your practice of nukta, okay, and if there's still any confusion, anything, you can ask me on WhatsApp as well, okay. So right now we have discussed all the things and I am ending this meeting, so take care, okay.